this is Anna Bohach and Kaylee Harms, and we're here to discuss libraries and drag queens and feminists and pastors and trans activists and pornography. All of this is happening in our library, and the library is suppressing our speech, saying what is free speech and what is hate speech, and we're here to discuss all of these things. It's going to be a very interesting day, and so I'm going to let Kaylee take it away with our discussion.
So Anna and I got to talking. There's an event coming up this coming February, hosted by the Women's Liberation Front. They go by WOLF for short. I'll show you here. They have reserved space in the Seattle Public Library Central Branch to host an event and a respectful discussion entitled Fighting the New Misogyny. And basically, it's a talk about how transgender activism and politics are erasing women's hard-fought protections. And so, yes, the topic is controversial, but this is what libraries are for. We have to have civil discourse about things that matter to us. Unfortunately, trans activists have pushed back so hard on this event with violent threats and just completely attacking the library that the library itself is now wondering and questioning whether or not they can actually host the event. So that got us to talking about things that the library hosts all the time, especially the Seattle Public Library.
Oh yeah, the Seattle Public Library, they're hosting drag queen story hours where you have men, flashing their crotches to toddlers.
Rolling around on all fours. I don't know any other job where you can go to work. You can't even give kids like piggybacks at day camp anymore.
Or even give them a hug when they're having a bad day. They don't want you to do that either.
But this guy gets to roll around on the floor with strangers' children.
And there's another picture of him with an erection rolling around with the children. There's been 3 now reported cases of pedophiles, drag queens who are convicted pedophiles of assaulting children that has just come out. And it's... these men are clearly a danger to women
but they're getting free access to kids because nobody screens them.
Yeah, nobody screens them because they use their drag name, and yet these women,
real women
who are professional women and serious women, are considered a hate group, and they're being threatened by Antifa, which is a terrorist organization, by the library. Yet the media and the folks at the library are branding these women who are strong and fighting for their rights as a hate group. And this is absolutely a clear violation of their First Amendment rights to be able to participate in the open as women and defend their rights.
But meanwhile, events for teens are even worse.
The library has, it's not even teens, it's tweens. We're talking 10-year-olds.
10-year-olds
10 and up.
Get to go and see this guy in woman face on all fours, howling at the moon, and making a scene. His friend, right here, also in woman face, is parading around. You can see his backside in one of these with a G-string. Yeah. This is for 10-year-olds. He's performing this act.
Yes. Or they pass out at the library.
This is Seattle Public Library System.
Same library that these feminists want to speak at. Penis bookmarks.
For 10-year-olds.
For 10-year-olds. And
Astroglide.
And condoms. For 10-years.
And breast binders.
Oh, and breast binders.
For girls who hate their bodies.
Yeah,
help them in their self-hatred.
Yeah, let's help them hate their bodies even more because they're already being sexualized by pornography, which is also in the library.
Okay, so, don't get me started. About a year ago, I took my 7-year-old to the local library to go print something out for a homework assignment because we don't have a printer at home. And when we went in there, I went to the printing station, and there was a man right next to my little girl. He sees us coming, doesn't make any attempt to hide anything. He's got a full screen of rape porn. Violent rape porn that I now have to explain to my 7-year-old. And I complained to the library about this, and they said that they couldn't do anything about it because he has free speech and the right to be doing that there. And of course he's getting off on the fact that we are now subjected to this. But that's free speech that's routinely welcomed in the library. I guarantee you go into the Seattle Public Library at any given point, you're going to have at least 5 of those guys doing that in there.
Yeah, exactly. But
women,
no, they're not allowed to come and discuss their, private spaces being violated, having men in dresses coming and, bathrooms in woman face and mock women. And I'm sorry, but these trans people are autogynephiles. They get off on being women, and they're in there just to violate women's spaces and get off on the fact that they're violating women. That's okay, with the library for that to happen to these women, but they cannot protest it. And what else does the library give the children? Sexual information on how to have unsafe sexual practices.
Free speech.
Free speech, that's okay.
Porn is free speech.
Porn is free speech. But, you know, Christian pastors can't go and pray in the library. They're arrested and have the book thrown at them by local prosecutors because they wanted to pray for the safety and innocence of children who are being exposed to this.
Quite literally exposed.
Quite literally exposed.
So, if you're of sound mind, the reality is that the people who will win this debate are the people who care more. The reason that this event is even being protested in the first place, or that they're even considering canceling it, is because a lot of people care enough to try to get it canceled.
Yeah.
The question is whether or not we care enough about the libraries that we pay for to reclaim them and say, hello, this is not okay to call women hateful. I mean, that is such rape culture.
It is rape culture. And it's just like, for the men out there, it's like, do you really want your daughters to have to compete against boys in sports? Or do you want, you know, a grown man naked in the locker room with your daughter at the YMCA? I mean,
it's the new.
What are you doing? Why are people not shouting in the streets more than we are? I don't understand it. So
the new patriarchy wears a dress and pronoun buttons.
It does,
and is protesting the local library. So if you care enough, do something.
Yeah.
Call the library. Tell them that these women ought to be able to speak.
Yeah, let them speak. And you know, we're conservative women. We're pro-life. We're not leftist women, but those women at Wolf are warriors for fighting for our girls and for other women, for our safety and for our personal spaces and for our dignity as well. And so we really need to support them. So if you are in the Seattle or Washington State area, please come out and support these women. Call the library. Tell them that these women have a right to speak and that they shouldn't be silenced.
It's not 1900.
It's not. Thank you.
Bye-bye.